So as the handout's going around, if you look at the genre tab, you'll see that there are many options for what Troilus and Cressida could be, and some of them may be conflicting, maybe not, but either ways, you don't normally see them in the play, and that's because Troilus and Cressida is what could be termed a problem play of Shakespeare. It doesn't really follow traditional, at least doesn't completely follow traditional genre structures, so it's kind of tragic that the hero doesn't die in the end. Something else contributing to the confusion is that the two publications, its two first publications, classified it differently. Its first publication, 1609, said it was a comedy. Its next one, 1623, said it was a tragedy. So nobody really knows exactly what's going on genre-wise in this play, but that's why I put 4 or 5 options. So the basic story of Troilus and Cressida, it's set during the Trojan War, and there are two traditions or stories which the play is based off of. The first one is the common story, the famous story of the Iliad, Homer's Iliad. So it begins in the middle of the war. The Greeks are at Troy because Helen was stolen by Paris from Menelaus, and Achilles is refusing to fight. That is until Patroclus dies, and he goes out and kills Hector in a fight. All this takes place in Troilus and Cressida, but it also happens simultaneously with the next story, which is about Troilus and Cressida. And that's actually a medieval addition to the Trojan story, which the basic story or plot line of that is that Troilus is a Trojan prince. He's a son of Priam, and he's a great warrior for Troy. He falls in love with this woman named Cressida, and his friend Pandarus is also Cressida's uncle. So Pandarus functions as a go-between for Troilus and Cressida, and he actually, that's where we get the word pander from Pandarus' name, interestingly enough. So he brings them together one night and they consummate their love, and however, the next morning they wake up and find out that Cressida is actually going to be given to the Greeks in exchange for a Trojan prisoner. And this obviously saddens them very much. They pledge their fidelity and separate. At this time in the play, Hector and Ajax are going to fight in single combat. So the armies gather together, and Troilus happens to see Diomedes, who is a Greek warrior, flirting with Cressida, I'm sorry. That's in this play too, actually. No more racism. But flirting with Cressida, and he actually overhears Cressida promise that she will sleep with him later. So that love is destroyed, and in the medieval tradition, the story ends with Troilus' death. But in Shakespeare's play, interestingly enough, it does not. He actually carries Hector's body back to Troy at the end. So those are the two main plot lines you're dealing with. The matter of Troy is really popular to the English in the medieval period and in the Elizabethan period. So it's something they would have been very familiar with. The story is very basic, and they would have known what was going to happen. There are some differences, but it's not really differences in the plot elements as much as it is differences in the way that Shakespeare handles the plot elements. So Hector's death, for instance, in the Iliad, Achilles and Hector fight one-on-one, and because of the gods help out Achilles, he ends up being able to kill Hector, right? Well, in this, actually, Hector and Achilles confront each other in Shakespeare's play, and Hector actually beats him back. He beats Achilles back. But towards the end of the battle, Achilles gathers a number of his myrmidons to go seek out Hector, and when they find him, he's unarmed and actually stab him to death. So it's a very different kind of tone that the play takes on as compared with sort of the glory of battle that you might think of or imagine with the Trojan War. Part of that is because of one of the main themes of Troilus and Cressida, which is disillusionment. There's a lot of discontent about the nature of the war, about all these people dying for this woman. And some people even say that it's kind of modern. It's like reading them. It's got modern sentiments or tendencies. Joyce Carol Oates, she wrote an article that's well known about this. She said reading Troilus and Cressida is kind of like reading a modern play. Interestingly enough, it was probably most widely performed after the first two world wars. So it's dealing with a lot of modern issues, like you can emphasize various things like anti-war sentiments or homoeroticism. But yeah, that's basically Troilus and Cressida in a nutshell. If you read the outline and just know the basic Iliad story and Troilus and Cressida story, then you should have it. So that's it.
Good job.